Hi, and thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. My name is Ryan Keys, as you can see in the banner above. Today's topic is going to be 6 signs that you're experiencing a spiritual awakening. I like to term it that you're going from aging to saging. So hang on tight, let's go. So today's topic is going to be the 6 ways that you know that you might be spiritually awakening. And as I like to call it in relation to the channel, where you're going from aging to saging. Now, let's talk about the first sign that you may be spiritually waking up. So the first sign that your spiritual alarm clock might be going off, and this happened to me, and occasionally it does still happen to me, and I see patients every day, and they're all experiencing a very similar thing. Your senses, the first sign, your senses become overly sensitive. That kind of is a tongue twister. Your senses become overly sensitive. So your sight, your hearing, your smell, your taste, your touch, everything is becoming magnified. When I went through my near-death experience when I was 20 years old, when I woke up, everything was different. When I touched stuff, it was different. When I looked at stuff, it was different. When I heard stuff, it was different. And why? Because I believe that the physicality of this experience, our physical form, it starts to understand that a shift has happened in the consciousness. So when your soul starts to become evolved or involved in the source and in the present status, when your soul becomes in the now, or starting to wake up, the soul's trying to leave the body. The soul wants to go on to the greater pastures. The soul wants to leave. Well, the body is symbiotic, so the body's going to increase your hearing, your sight, your smell, your taste, your touch. I think it's a survival mechanism. I think the body, in its own symbiotic right, is fighting to survive and stay alive. Because when the soul becomes awakened or enlightened, the body's afraid that it doesn't need it anymore. And the second sign that you might be spiritually awakening, when you wake up and you jump right out of bed, when that energy overwhelms you, or when you're just standing in line for something and you feel this angst, and it's like this full throttle energy where it's like, it must be how your car feels when you've been given it like regular gas and then you dump premium unleaded in it, right? So it's like jet fuel for your soul. And when you feel that energetic feeling, that's also another sign that your soul is revving up. The spark of the soul is igniting, and that fire that burns deep inside of us is starting to catch a blaze and starting to transform you. It's pretty exciting stuff, right? And the number 3 way I've been experiencing also as a healthcare provider, because I do a lot of one-on-one talking with people. I see them regularly. People are starting to ask themselves, why am I here? And what's this path? I need more out of life. And this kind of desire to do something with yourself. This need. I've seen a lot of people actually getting divorced. A lot of women that have children and their husbands, and they don't feel happy in their marriage. They don't feel satisfied with raising their children. And they're moving and they're trying to change their life. A lot of people that were dissatisfied with their appearance have just miraculously shifted and started becoming like professional athletes and bodybuilders and everything else. I've seen it, and it's happening, and it's another sign that you are spiritually waking up. Let's say you're a guy, you've been in your job for the past 10 years. And it's been going great. You're at the top of your game. You're making a lot of money. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't like my job. I hate my job. I don't want to do this job anymore. This job sucks. That's a light bulb. It may not be that your job sucks. It might be that the physicality of this form that you've been operating with, the 2 eyes instead of your 3rd eye, have been guiding you down this path, this materialistic path that has involved you and consumed you to the point of now your soul's like, not gonna do it anymore. Not gonna do it. The soul is grabbing you by your hair, pulling you up and saying, let's do this, let's do something worthwhile, let's make a change in us. So if we change us, we change the world around us. Little changes. Nudge yourself into the now. We're done. I'm just kidding. The number 4 sign is about that fast. So I was working on a patient, and her son was sitting there, and he's about 8 years old. And he was playing on the iPhone, and he looked over and he goes, and didn't say a word. We're not talking about anything spiritual, nothing, no dharma, no karma, no nothing. And he just looks over and he tells me and his mom, and he goes, you know what? Man, I can't believe summer's already here. Time just flying by. He goes, I feel like it was just Christmas. He goes, heck, I just feel like I just had my birthday. It seemed like it was like 2 weeks ago. He goes, why is time so fast? And you always hear that the older you get, the faster time flies. Well, if you're 8 years old, what the hell does that mean? Because if he's flying at 8 years old, he's going to be like turbo mode at like 60. So that is yet another sign that you are spiritually awakening. And I have to say, this 8-year-old boy is a definite indigo kid. He is a super sourced kid. This little kid is in touch with everything. He is right in the moment, right now, and it's accelerating. And that's where we're at. And the number 5 sign that you might be experiencing a spiritual awakening is that your intuition is on high alert. Everything about you is screaming at the top of its sensations. Your senses are going off from the first sign, and then now your soul, your spirit man, like you walk into an elevator and you're like, whoa, shit, this is like, I shouldn't be here, I'm getting off. Or you're driving your car, you're like, whoa, I gotta slow down, I don't know why, and then there's an accident. Or where someone walks past you and you have that immediate deja vu and you're like, whoa, shit, deja vu is happening every day now. And your intuition is on high alert. And then you start feeling like your dreams are getting deeper, more vibrant, more colorful, more intense. And at night you're having hot and cold sweats. You're having moments of like where you're like wrestling and you're talking in your sleep maybe, where a lot of things that you are experiencing are more clairvoyant, almost like more telekinetic, more psychic. And I hate to use that term because I've got a lot of people that follow me that are religious, including my mom. But the spirit, let's say the spirit, is overwhelming you with information. You're becoming more prophetic, you're hearing things, you're more in tune, you're knowing your own fate. Your people are coming into your life, you're talking to them, and you have like just immense amounts of knowledge to share with them. That's another sign that you're spiritually waking up. And the 6th sign that you may be spiritually awakening. There's an old phrase, skeletons in the closet. And I don't want to use it in a negative term. I want to use it in a positive light. Because even like my 365-day Change My Life challenge, where I'm trying to nudge myself into the now and trying to stop letting the past punish me and stop letting the past pull me back. I don't want to be in the past. A lot of things are tied to the past. A lot of our hurt, a lot of our anger, a lot of our disappointment, a lot of our insecurities are actually tied to the past. And those strings, when you're spiritually awakening, it's like you're like pulling them and then planting them right in front of you and saying, no, that ain't gonna happen. I'm not living that way. So a lot of things that you have neglected or that you weren't addressing are coming front and center, and you're actually dealing with those. That's another sign that you might be spiritually awakening. Now, I encourage you to explore this topic even further. There's a lot of great videos out there, and you can do a lot of research on your own. I will expand this topic at a later date and go into it more. But this is just to get us started. Let's let it be simple. So these are some of the top ways that you know that you may be spiritually awakening. Peace, light, and love, and I will see you soon. Have a great, safe day.